and welcome to Add More Zest. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and it's time for a whip and waffle. Month of June wasn't enough, so we now have one on a Sunday. I am working on Mr. Quackers, which, as you can see, I haven't worked on since the last whip and waffle on this one. But that's because I was prioritising finishing the custom and, of course, June's whip and waffle that went on. But I will be getting into my Heaven and Earth design soon. I've not got myself fully straight yet after June whip and waffle. I've not got myself fully organised. Once I've got myself fully organised, it will be Heaven and Earth design whip and chats that we're doing. So I thought I'll pull out Mr. Quackers because we all like him and get him done, or not get him done, get some more of him done while going through sort of the questions and comments that were left over, mainly from the last whip and waffle. There might be some from other videos as well, but it will give me some questions to answer for you guys in this video. Now, before I get on to all the comments and stuff, I do have a little confession to make. So during the June waffle, we did discuss glue dots a lot. There was a lot of people commenting how they've moved to them, how they like them, which ones they use, and all the rest of it. And during the June waffle, I said I wasn't going to start a glue dot until I could do a video on starting it. But then, with all the chatter, I was a little bit excited to try glue dots. And I also thought, if I'm going to do a video on it and working with it, I kind of need some time to actually give them a go as well, with a couple of different diamond paintings. So this pen has got a glue dot in it. I did put one in it. Now I only have some glue dots left over from my scrapping days. They are the bigger ones. I cut them into 4 and I just put a quarter of one. What I did was I rolled it between my fingers and sort of got it into a ball and put it in this pen. And I used this on the last painting that I've just finished, and I'm still on the same glue dot. Now, I will still be doing a video on glue dots. I'm hoping to start doing a new mini series on tips and tricks. So it'll be all sorts of little tips and tricks for diamond painting. I'm kind of hoping I can hit 100, but I'm just gonna start and see how many numbers we can get up to. So each individual video will be a separate tip, but it will form part of a series, and I'm hoping to be able to, you know, go, there'll be different variants, amounts of depth that I go into. But I'm hoping to be able to do, you know, a bit more of a show and tell with every tip for people that, you know, are a visual person rather than just a written down person. But yeah, I am liking the glue dots. I have not had to fill it up yet. There's a couple of things I'm a little bit unsure of. So I have found, or I did find with the other square painting that I was working on, because I've only put a glue dot in one pen, I'm not sure if it's the way the glue dot's sitting or the way that glue dots work. I'm not sure which one it is yet. And I'm going to do a little bit more research before my tips series starts. But I have noticed it doesn't always pick the diamond up directly in the middle, even if I place my pen down directly in the middle. Let me zoom you guys in so you can actually see what I'm doing. And it looks like I need to move my easel back. How much room have I got? I've not got a huge amount of room because this is a big canvas. So let's see if I can scoot it. It's hanging off the back of my easel. Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's the way I've got the glue dot in or not, but when I go to get a diamond and I go to get it directly, it doesn't always stay as a direct. It seems to grab hold of it on one of the facets or a little bit to the side. And sometimes with squares, I have to mess about a little bit more to get it placed where I want it, which is fine on a poured glue canvas like this, but it can be a little trickier on a double-sided tape canvas because they don't tend to let you scoot the diamonds as much if they go in the wrong place. So I'm going to try it in a few more pens. This pen did used to have wax in it, and after a little bit of messing about with the glue dot, it has stayed in and it hasn't come out. So I don't know whether that's because I'm only using a quarter of a normal size one or not. But I will provide feedback in my tips and tricks, as you know, if it is that you find, if I do find that putting a glue dot in a different pen that maybe sits a little bit different, doesn't do the same thing with squares, then maybe it is how I've put the glue dot in. But I'll let you guys all know. But yeah, that's my confession. I have tried glue dots and I really kind of like them. I think wax might be a thing of the past, but we'll see how we go. Okay, comments and stuff. It is over to the other side of me due to the size of this canvas, so we'll see how I manage. Sharon has said, me again, with a smiley face. She said, do you know if you can get a PDF file for paintings from Diamond Painting Deutschland, which is Germany, so I can use Pattern Keeper? Sharon, I have no idea. Diamond Painting Deutschland, I did have a brief look at it, but of course everything was in German, of which I've not done German since high school, and to be fair, I wasn't really fond of it either, so I don't think I've retained much. And I know you can translate, but I haven't really invested the time. It takes a bit more brain power to work with a site that's been translated rather than one that's in English straight off. So I haven't really had chance to look, order, or even figure it out properly. So I can't answer that one, I'm afraid. You are probably best just asking them. If it's something that they have the PDF for, they may be happy sharing it. I don't even know if it would work in Pattern Keeper. So depending on the type of PDF, sometimes you have to put in a little bit more work with Pattern Keeper to make it load up properly. But I know with my Dreamers Design canvas, so the first one that I had where the symbols were really bad, they did send me a PDF of the chart to see if that would work. And I actually found it really, really hard to work with a PDF when the symbols are on the canvas. And I think that was because I was doing most of them, of course, without using the chart because I could see them perfectly well. But then when I was trying to find the ones that I couldn't see, it was very hard to determine what I'd done and what I'd not. And I didn't want to be marking off every single square on a PDF to be able to then be left, because it takes twice as long. Which is fine when you're working on a blank canvas, that's the whole idea of it. But when I was working on a canvas with the symbols already on it, it wasn't my cup of tea. So they did end up changing it. But yeah, you're best just dropping them an email, I'd say. Donna says, have you tried Threadbare? It's a program you can use to compare an image in different sizes. Ooh, no, I've not. I like the idea of that though. That could be something that could help people determine. By the sounds of it, Threadbare is something that's cross-stitch related. So I don't know if you can tell it the size of your diamonds to see how the image would look, because of course a cross-stitch, quite often the stitch that you do can be smaller than the diamond. But it sounds interesting, especially if you're working, you know, with a company that maybe isn't used to customs, or, you know, there's a language barrier as to getting the size recommendations from them. So that does sound interesting. Sherry says, very happy for you and your family. This is on the announcement of the name of the company, of Add More Zest. She says, hope it's not too much. I'm hoping it's not going to be. So I am going to be launching a second channel. First video will be coming out on the 1st of August. It's going to be primarily unboxings, but I may mix it up in the future. At the moment it's going to be unboxings, but we're going to see how it goes. Yeah, what I'm hoping is that I'll still be able to, you know, bring you guys the interesting items, you know, that you can get from different companies, diamond painting wise. But then also still be able to do more mini series, I think, on this main channel. So at the moment I tend to do 3 unboxings a week on this channel, Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And I do have companies who are reaching out that would like unboxings when I don't have time in the schedule, because I'm not just doing unboxings. Not on this main channel, it's not who I am. So the idea of the second channel is to be able to still showcase a variety of companies for people that are interested in it. But I also want to be able to do things like mini-series. For example, the tips and tricks mini-series. I want that to be something that runs for, I'm hoping, a year. Couple of tips a week, you know, video on those tips, maybe a 10-15 minute video. And I'm hoping to get 100, which means it's going to run close to a year, if not more. If there's more tips out there, they'll be given. But to run those, as well as the unboxings that I want to be able to bring as well, to show people what's out there, that would then only leave me 2 days for kitting up, de-kittings, WIP and waffles, and anything else. So custom comparisons, you know, craft room tours, anything that's a little bit different, as well as that'd be the only time I'd be able to do my kitting up and my kitting down and a WIP and waffle. So it's not practical to try and fit all those unboxings and the tips and tricks and everything all into a week without potentially doubling up some videos. So I thought having a bit more of a definition, having a second channel, may help that. There will still be some unboxings on this channel. After all, it is the main channel, it is the busier channel. But there will be a lot of unboxings on the second channel. The link is in the description of this video, so do go and subscribe so that you're ready. And in turn, when I bring out, you know, the likes of a tips and tricks, I'm hoping that it won't be too, I'm hoping it won't be too much work. We'll see. But I'm hoping that I can, you know, maybe do more of the tips and tricks in bulk. So bulk videoing, bulk editing, you know, and yes, it will take a chunk of time. But I'm hoping that I can, you know, take a few hours one day to do 4 or 5 videos, and then, you know, edit it in a bit of free time in an evening, and schedule it so the next couple of weeks worth are done. And then I'm still only actually needing to film each week my regular, you know, de-kittings, kittings up, WIP and chats, that sort of thing, to sort of mix in with the rest. That's my kind of thought behind the second channel. We will see how it goes, but I am still hoping that across the 2 channels you will still find a video a day, and it just means I can bring you some more short videos without losing the longer videos, because I know people like both. So subscribe to both channels. I will, you know, try. I know there are people that do watch each and every day, and there are many that have watched the WIP and Waffle each and every day, even though it's been, you know, up to an hour each video. But yeah, between the 2, it may be that if there is a video on both channels, that they're 10-15 minute videos each, whereas you may have an hour-long video on another day on this channel. So yeah, hoping that works. Margaret says she's very impressed with the new intro and outro of the video. I am glad you like it. I will tell hubby. So hubby designed the intro, the new intro for my video. He did all the fancy diamond work, was all his hard work, and it looks absolutely amazing. I'm really happy with it. Outro, I've sort of tried to utilise some more of the YouTube features. It takes a little bit longer on editing, but I'm hoping that it, you know, give you guys the opportunity for videos to pop up that maybe you've missed or that you've not had a chance to watch yet. Make it a bit easier for you all. And of course we have the ever so subtle, and I did try to make it subtle, little website address down here somewhere, just so that, you know, when I'm saying it, people can read it as well, because sometimes it doesn't quite sink in the same if you're not reading it. She says, I'm sure everything will work out for you and your team at Add More Zest. Yes, it definitely is a team effort. There are many things that many members of the house help out with. From being posty to doing me a new YouTube intro, and yeah, all the other stuff in between. It's a family effort. Talita, she says good afternoon, evening, good morning, afternoon, evening to you all, no matter what time of day. She says, is it absolutely necessary to seal partial diamond paintings? No, it's not a necessity. The only thing you need to bear in mind if you don't, and this can vary from company to company, so it can depend on quality as much as anything. But with partial diamond paintings, quite often there will be an overhang of glue, because it tends to be a poured glue, and You know, sometimes it's the exact size of the diamond and therefore you don't have any sticky extra. But sometimes it's just a little bit over. And that's, you know, to allow for mistakes in both the machine that puts the poured glue on, but also, you know, your placement of the diamonds. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room with that as well. And it's that sticky that is the reason I tend to seal. It's not for the diamonds falling off, it's to cover the excess sticky. So if you're putting a partial diamond painting into a frame with acrylic or glass, then that will stop that sticky from picking up dust. In turn, it may stick to the glass, though I wouldn't have thought it. It's not a bendy material, is it? So it shouldn't do. But if you're not putting it in a frame, you've got to think, will dust and particles in the air, which is everywhere, stick to this and therefore look unsightly? And I think that's the reason I seal partial diamond paintings. Even though I do quite often, if I'm not framing it, I will put it in a portfolio. The portfolio that I put it into, of course, is little plastic slip sleeves. Well, the plastic sleeves are more flexible, so they could in turn stick to the excess glue on a diamond painting. Again, that does purely depend on the manufacturer and whether there is a lot of excess glue or not a lot at all. And I think that's just the things you have to think about as to whether you determine if it's right to seal your partial diamond painting or not. Once you've done it, you know, dab your finger or dab your hand over it. Does it stick? You know, because there's glue. Or does it not? If it doesn't, then you've probably not got a lot of excess glue, which means it's likely to not be as big an issue. If when you're putting your finger down on it, it does stick, then you could end up having an issue. Get where I want you to. You could end up having more of an issue with it picking up dust particles, really. You've also got to think whether you've got pets as well can make a difference. I mean, I don't, but there's too many girls in this house with long hair, so that can often have a problem. She also said, were you able to see or open the link that she shared about the Matryoshka keychains? I don't know if that's a different name. See, I call them like little Russian dolls. That's what they remind me of, you know, those little dolls that stack inside each other. And they probably have different names everywhere. But we always called those little Russian dolls. And you get lots of little dolls that sit inside each other. Those key rings reminded me of that. But yeah, I did get to open the link. Thank you. She says, love your videos. They're a godsend for those of us that are new to the craft. Oh, that's good. And I'm hoping my tips and tricks will be as well. There is a couple of people that have emailed me with some tips and tricks suggestions that they use. And of course, there's many that I use myself. I just have to, it can take a little bit. I'm trying to write some down because some of them I can do so automatic that I actually forget that it's a little tip and trick. So I'm trying to, you know, write them down as I go along. But yeah, I'm hoping that series will be a popular one. Susan said, very exciting things happening for you. She's excited to go along for the journey. She loves the new look of things, but if she's being honest, she prefers the 4 Kids at 147 name. Yeah, I mean, she does also say the new one will take a little bit of time getting used to. Yeah, the 4Kids at 147, I've had that as sort of a name, you know, in various aspects for years, for quite a few years, many years, in fact, probably close to 20. But as much as I love it, and I don't want to lose it completely, because it has sort of become known in various places. For people that don't know who I am and are new to the craft or anything like that, the name makes them think that it's children orientated. Whereas kids can do diamond painting, it's not just a kid's craft. And that's what made us, you know, try and think of a business name that wasn't, you know, that didn't need as much of an explanation. Like, the business name isn't something that is set to anything in particular. So add more zest, because while that's become the company name, I could still just run as 4Kids at 147. But I want to be able to do a bit of both. I want to be able to do things that are diamond painting related, but also do things that aren't purely diamond painting related. I want it to be a mix. So the 4Kids at 147 is still staying on this YouTube channel. It's just add more zest with 4Kids at 147 diamond painting, and it is still staying on the Facebook group, and it'll just be, you know, a little bit combined to give people a chance to get used to it, because change is always, you know, it does always take a bit. You get familiar and you get what you're used to, but yeah, we're hoping it will be, you know, something that grows on people. While we, you know, when we thought about it and we got the name and we were like, yeah, we like this, as time went on, we actually liked it more and more. So we're hoping that you guys like it the same. Oh, Judy says she used my diamond painting cart setup she made her own setup in her living room and she loved it. Yeah, I highly suggest getting yourself some form of mini diamond painting station. Now, this can come in many different forms. It could just be a box or a pencil case or something like that, where you hold your basics. And I do have a little plastic pot in my cart that holds things like my diamond painting pen, a craft knife, some little clips for clipping stuff to the pegboard. It holds a pen, just because, you know, Mama can never find a pen. It holds my wax, though say I am becoming addicted to glue dots. It holds my pretty placer, which I tend to use for ABs, putting down ABs. I then, expanding into the cart itself, or into this one section of my cart, is my main, you know, what somebody could just put into a box. Extending into that is the likes of my cover paper. I then have my trays, because they don't fit, these trays don't fit in the little pot as much. They do, they just don't fit flat, so they tend to sit on the top of my little tray pot, or they just sit in the tray itself. Yeah, then the cover papers. Then I have some Ever Moment bags. That's just the little grip seal bags that came with an Ever Moment kit. Any sort of grip seal bags would do, in case you ever need to, you know, segregate some diamonds, or, you're working on a special diamond painting and you're doing it by colour and you need something to put it in afterwards. All that sort of stuff is on the middle section of my cart. So whenever I've finished diamond painting for the evening, you know, that's where my pen goes, my diamond painting pen, that's where my tray goes. You know, they just, everything gets put in there apart from the painting itself. And then on the bottom shelf of my cart tends to be where I put, you know, my storage with my diamonds in. So this one's, you know, quite a small lot of storage. My extras also go in there. So this one, of course, has quite a few extras, especially in the whites and some of the yellows and oranges. All those go in the bottom of the cart. So they're more a single painting related, or 2 or 3 paintings related, because I often have a few on the go. They all go in the bottom section. And then I actually happen to have one of the sort of, IKEA call it a chopping board, a wooden board that sits on the top ever so, the top section. Underneath that I just have my tablet that I used for my Heaven and Earth design. I don't tend to put much else in there just because, you know, I have to lift off the top and anything that I seem to have dumped on it whenever I want that tablet. But yeah, something, you know, that gets tucked away that you may not need as often. And then the top chopping board is either where I put my diamonds when I start working on it, or it's where my brew goes, or my phone, or whatever else is near me. But you could do it with just a box. I do suggest, and I do love, you know, having some sort of container for your used everyday-ish items. So I have a craft knife in there. It's not used every day, but if I have a painting that has rivers in the canvas, which tends to be double-sided tape canvases, can get those, I've got a craft knife there. I can deal with that river. I can, you know, trim it, squeeze the air out, done. It's dealt with. I'm not having to get up and go and find it and all that sort of stuff. Same with the likes of the Pretty Placer. It's there if I've got ABs. I'm not having to go find, where did I put this? Or go and get it out of my craft room. It's there. It's in my cart. I love my little cart. And I highly recommend anybody having something to be able to just pop, you know, their pen, their tray, and all their other sort of little essentials. Keeps them all together, and then when you next go to diamond paint, everything's there. Unless, of course, your hubby's pinched your craft knife, which has been known to happen in this house, but more often than not, everything is there, ready and waiting for you. And if I need to move it out the way, I can just roll mine into the craft room. But if it was a box, I could just carry it into the craft room, out the way, tidy, but everything's still in one place for when I need it. I love it. Lady Jack says, really looking forward to seeing what's coming. That's good. She said, wish you loads of luck. Not that you need it. We might do. Give it time. She says, if I order a white tray now, will it have Add More Zest on it? Yes, it will. So the trays have changed ever so slightly. The actual tray design itself has not changed. It works perfect. There is no need to change it. All that's changed is the branding on the end. So it now says Add More Zest. And I've just tipped all my diamonds into the spout. But yeah, as soon as the picture changed and the name changed to an Add More Zest tray, rather than a 4Kids at 147 tray, that's the tray you'll get. You will get the tray that's in the picture. I think that's the only fair way to sell anything, if any changes are going to happen. the image should reflect that. But yeah, the trays now are Add More Zest. It's just engraved in the back. It's not embossed, it doesn't stick out. It doesn't affect the way the tray's used at all. It actually makes my life a lot easier than having to cut labels up and stick labels on each time. And, you know, we have found and heard that sometimes, you know, the labels can wear off. So we think this is a lot cleaner look for the tray, that doesn't impose on you using it or working with it in any way at all. Because, as I say, I'm not changing the design of the actual tray itself, because it does the job, and it does the job well. Jeanette says fun videos. Kay, now this was a reply on an older video, so I don't know whether Kay will be listening to the newer one, but I'll make sure I reply anyway. She says you were talking a bit about size comparison. So this is when I was doing the couple image comparison. So I've done a couple of videos on size comparison and how a picture can look different in different sizes. All of them are linked on my website, which is there. There is a section called videos where you can get quick links to all of those. It'll bring you back to YouTube, but it's the easiest way to find some of my comparison videos, and to know which one you're about to watch, because there's a little description on my website about them. She says her first diamond painting was a 12 by 12 partial horse from Hobby Lobby, and then she went on to 2 30 by 40 paintings and some stickers, and now she's working on a diamond art club. Well, that's a big one. She thinks she did the big ones too fast. I love a big diamond painting, I really do. I can't wait to spend a little bit, you know, once my comparisons are done. My new comparisons on customs, I can't wait to get stuck into this one and my Minions one, because I haven't done a round diamond painting in what feels like forever. Because my last small diamond painting, let me get my diamonds back out my spout. The last small diamond painting that I did was a square, so I feel like I've not done a round diamond painting for so long, because this one's a square, my June Waffle was a square, of course the comparisons are a square, because overall I have more round paintings than I do square ones. It just seems to have been, luck of the draw has ended up that it's been all square diamond paintings I'm doing at the moment. And I am kind of missing doing a round. I'm looking forward to being able to pick up and do more of this one and more of the Minions and stuff as well. Sue says good luck with your new venture. She's already signed up to Add More Zest. Yes, there is a Facebook and an Instagram link down below, as well as, of course, the website, and the Facebook group is also there. We've had quite a few new members, so I'm hoping they're getting lots of hints and tips and enjoying the group. She says thanks for keeping us informed, and we'll be right there with you. Oh, that's sweet. Donna says this is exciting, but she's confused. Do you visit both sites? No, both websites will send you to the same place. So the website address used to be 4kids@147.com. It's now addmorezest.com. If you typed 4kids@147.com into the browser, it would take you to Add More Zest. It would automatically change it to Add More Zest. So when I say any website links that you may have, any bookmarks that you may have saved will still work, that's why. They will just automatically redirect you to Add More Zest. And we plan on keeping the 4 Kids at 147 domain for a couple of years, because I know what I'm like for changing bookmarks. It just doesn't happen. I'm very lazy at it. You know, it can take me a while to actually bookmark a page, never mind change it if things get updated. And I'm just as bad at work as I am. In fact, I'm probably worse at home than I am at work. But yeah, it's not 2 different websites. It's all still one website. It's only the name of it that's changed. The layout is still all the same. It's, you know, we're trying to keep things as familiar as possible, while also being able to start this new venture and move forward with plans for new things. So that's the reason, you know, we didn't want to just do it, even though things have only changed subtly. We didn't want to just do it without telling you guys why, and that it was actually going to happen. Because change can be a good thing, but it can also be very, very weird while it happens. And we wanted to lessen the weird and stick more with the wonderful. That was the plan. Okay, all my whites are done. This is a new printed tray, this one. I think it was only printed this morning. I'm only just allowing myself to have a grey tray. And I do find that occasionally it can just take a little bit. I don't know whether it's because, you know, it's 3D printer filament or what, whether it just needs to pick up a little bit of, you know, daily gunk. And I don't mean gunk as in it needs to get dirty. I just mean it just needs to pick up a little bit of day-to-day life for it to, you know, sometimes the static just comes into play a little bit too much until it's had a chance to calm down. It's weird to describe, but they definitely do. I mean, you know, they're great at lining diamonds up. You don't have diamonds bouncing. It's not that type of static. But sometimes they just don't glide out of the tray as easily as they do if you give it a week or so of using it. All of a sudden they just work even better. Which I suppose can only be a good thing, because the tray's exciting to start off with. And then it just gets more exciting as time passes. Oh, Diana says, she says, so tell me what you think of the rose gold pen. So Diana bought me 2 pens actually, one of them being a rose gold pen that I used in one of my WIP and Waffles. She says, did you notice it has a square and a round tip? At the time that I was using the pen on the June Waffle, and when I got the June pen, I did not realise it had a square and a round tip. I thought it just had a spare tip. That's all I thought it had. It was only somebody else commenting that the pen actually did have a square tip in it did I notice. So no, I didn't notice, Diana. I am now aware though, so it is something that I am going to try, and I'm going to see how the square tip works on square diamonds. I've not done it yet, only because I needed to confess to using glue dots. So I'm using my glue dot pen today. But I will give the square tip one a go. I might try that one with a glue dot as well and see how it goes. She's a little bit gutted that she's fell behind on the June WIP and Waffle. She did have to have surgery, so she's fell a bit behind. But she'll be out of commission, but she's determined to finish it soon. Well, Diana, you are definitely best looking after yourself first. The June waffle, you know, as disappointing as it is not to finish on the 30th of June, you've just got to remember that one, your health is more important, and second, even though you've not finished on the 30th, you've nearly finished. So everything that you've done in the month of June takes you a step closer to finishing the painting anyway. So it won't take you too long to get it finished up when you're feeling better, as long as you make sure that you're feeling well enough, because otherwise you just don't enjoy it the same. And you need to be able to enjoy diamond painting as well as finishing it. That's why quite often I like to have a couple on the go, especially when I'm doing something like a comparison, because if I find I'm just having a really not enjoying doing the likes of one of the custom paintings, something like that, I switch it to something that switch it to something else for a bit of a break, to make sure that I can continue to enjoy the process, because that's the main thing. And I love the dot dabbing, and I kind of like the noise that the pen makes when it's got a glue dot in as well. At first I thought it would annoy me. It doesn't do it all the time, it only does it occasionally. I think it depends on how I pick up the diamond, and sometimes it's noisier than others as well. But it's not an awful sound, and I thought it would potentially get on my nerves. Doesn't seem to have got on hubby's nerves yet either, which is also good. Because otherwise when he's sat next to me, I'm sure he'll be like, what is making your pen different? So far, we've not had comments. Oh, Donald says she's missed Fancel's Friday. So these are just some of the other comments on YouTube. Yeah, there are so many different types of videos that I do that it was hard actually completely stopping doing any unboxings through the June waffle. And if I had enough prepared, I possibly would have kept them as a second video. But I just didn't have them prepared, and it was finding the time to fit it all in, with the June waffle being 50 minutes each day plus editing. It just wasn't practical to keep them all in. But yeah, I have missed doing the sort of varied types of videos. I've been getting videos prepared, ready for this upcoming week at the same time as doing this. This is like the third video I've done now, I think. Yeah, so I've been getting videos ready for this next week, and I'm really enjoying doing the variety of videos as well. I've enjoyed going back to doing de-kitting videos and preparation videos. I'm going to have a go at doing the montage from the June waffle. I'm envisioning it actually taking me longer than a normal video does, so I don't know how long it's going to be. I need to try and make sure, that I keep the pictures together and make sure that I've got permission. But I'm going to try and get that done to be a video this upcoming week. I know that the video that went up yesterday was the de-kitting of the June waffle. Completely got out of the flow of de-kitting if you watch that, because I completely forgot to check for diamonds for my Heaven and Earth design for the first half of it. I've also got this next week coming, we've got a preparation video coming, because I need to have the next custom diamond painting prepared, because if it's not prepared it can't be finished. And we need that comparison to happen. And what else? Oh, I think I've got another de-kitting that I need to do that will be next weekend's, beginning of next weekend's videos. But then I've also got loads of others that I want to do. So I've been wanting to do an updated craft room tour for a while. I'm not sure how soon that one will happen, but I know that's been on my list. I also want to do some sort of, mini 3D printer update so that people can, see how the 3D printers work. More of a behind the scenes type video that people have asked for. I know Hubby's done some videoing for that, but because it's a different style than just me hitting record and chatting, it'll take a little bit more editing and stuff. There's little bits of it he's not happy with, but he's new to the whole YouTube thing. So yeah, there's loads and loads of different videos that I do want to do, and as soon as I get a chance to do them, of course they will be scattered in with my usuals. But I have at least 2 more diamond paintings that I need to de-kit, and say I have the one that I need to, the one that's going to get kitted up this week, but then I'll probably need to kit up another one, a small one. So yeah, loads and loads of videos coming. Right, I need one number 6, and I am just dipping in the pot. Glue dots are a little bit hit and miss whether it'll allow you to just dip in the pot. Sometimes it picks it up perfect, and other times it's like, nah, not having it. Oh, away. Let me zoom you back out. Oh, look. We've not got very far with him, but we're getting there. I will get some more of him done soon. Say, once these customs are done. Now, this is the paper that I took off from the bottom. I am going to move it up. It tends to be the way I work with large paintings, is I take it off and I move it up and it becomes the next row. And then I will cut off this plastic sheet when I get there. But last little thing before I do go, this painting is from Diamond Art Studio UK. And they have been extremely kind in the fact that they have given me a discount code for you guys. Me and Sam have been chitty-chatting about stuff, more of which will be revealed in the future. But yeah, they've been kind enough to share a discount code with you all, which is ZEST10. I will pop it in the link down below, but go and check them out. They do offer free international shipping up to a certain spend, I think. So they do ship internationally. What the cost would be would depend on what you're purchasing, but the option is there. And they have some amazing new works. They have actually got a... So the code gets you 10% off the code that they've shared with me, which is ZEST10. But they do have a special running this weekend as well that may get you a little bit more off, but it depends on the painting. So go and check out their Facebook and or Instagram pages for that. But that is only, I think... I don't think it's got that long to run, that one. So ZEST10 will get you some discount that they were kind enough to share with us all. So you could get yourself your own Mr. Quackers, if I can find his face. There he is. I like the fact that his face is going to be near the end. Makes it a little bit more exciting. Yeah, you could get yourself your own Mr. Quackers, or there's another, at least one painting from Splatterworks as well, and there's a couple of other licensed artists but they have so far only been open 6 months, and to be honest, I think they're doing absolutely amazing. I'm loving the images that I'm seeing. I may need to place another order myself because, you know, you can't have too many diamond paintings, can you? But yeah, I'll pop the link, oh not the link, I'll pop the discount code down below for Diamond Art Studio, but do go and have a look. Thank you guys so much for all your support through June Waffles, through, you know, the little adaptation of the name. I thank you all for, you know, giving it time and embracing it. But yeah, there's many exciting things to come. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.